Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Simple Stories Saturday, hosted by Joanne Bartel, where we'll all be using our simple stories to create our layout. And for today's layout, I'm going to be using this photo right here of my nephew and my great niece. And I'm also going to be using, well, I'm pretty sure they're tree rings. I was gifted them by a friend. She got her and myself a set. And then she says she wants me to do a layout with them on there so she can see how I use them. Well, I don't know if I used them right or not, but I did use them. I had a bunch of leaves left over. This is Simple Stories Lakeside. And so I will be using quite a few of them today, and I have ephemera and fussy cut stuff. I also have this embossing folder. It's a 3D one, the newer one by Tim Holtz, and Debbie had gifted me a gift certificate, and this I was so excited to get this. And I'm gonna forget to use that burlap. I cut it, but I forgot to use it. I'm gonna use the 6x8 pad that goes with that collection. Plus, I have some pieces that I'll be using that is a Great Escape, and there's an extra package of ephemera that I had, and I will use several stickers in there, and my title will come from this phrase sticker set. And I fussy cut this out of a 6x8 paper pad. I plan on using it and pieces of those two sheets. Plus, I am going to use some stickers because took them out ahead of time, and they're going to be laying with everything else I won't forget. And there's the paper pad. And then I'm going to use a whipped cream cardstock for the background. It's really thick and heavy. It comes from the warehouse store. And so you can put mixed media on it and it goes on really good. I pulled out a bunch of stencils. This one is called Sketchy Grid, and it is by Crafter's Workshop, I believe. And I'm going to use, well, vintage photo, I think it is on there, and then I'm going to pull out for another brown, ground espresso that is an oxide, and they look the same. I mean, you can't tell if there's a shade of difference or not on the layout, but I was wanting darker. And I forgot. If you heard my chair squeak, I forgot and moved. I try not to move when I am editing a video. This is peacock feathers. It is not an oxide. I wanted it to show up pretty good. And oxide didn't, it does not look as bright as the non-oxide one. This is a Crafter's Workshop stencil brick, and I am going to use what I thought was espresso on there. And as you can tell just by looking at it from there, they look really a lot the same color. So no, they're not the same. Um, Whether they look it or not. And I am going to use this stamper. Let's see. Oh, I can't think of the name. If y'all want to know, put a question down there below. If I think of it, I'll pop it up, in the middle of the video. Um, but that one is a radar stencil. I mentioned it was Crafter's Treat, but it is a radar stencil. And I am putting, well, it's north, south, east, west um, compasses from this, plus a bunch of little blotches and circles and everything else. And then this is a Vicky Bouton one. It is a Christmas one, but it's pine needles, so I decided to use it on this layout because, pine all year long. I had that one strip that looked a little wider that was actually 12 by 12. So I cut it in two pieces, one a little bit bigger than the other and one a little smaller, and for each side. The left side, I'm going to use the two bigger pieces, and the right side, the two smaller, and I just tore them, but I like the white to see sometimes, but this time I wanted to ink the white, and so I'm going to just kind of layer them on there, and I tried to move my uh, mixed media over enough that more of it would show, and then here's, when I put this piece on here, I'll think, maybe I want to go up higher. Maybe I don't want my photo straight across from it. Because that's what was in my head to do, was to put the photo straight across from it. So you will see me move it up. I started to tuck it right in the middle there, and I'm going to move it up. Since I had that blues and teals on the outside, I wanted to add a little bit to this cluster. Well, I'm going to add more of the dark teal bluish color, but I wanted to make sure there was a layer in there. And I do like this with one higher than the other. And since I moved that stuff around, I needed just a little more pine needles. So I am adding them so it don't look like a big gap without them. And I did tape off half of it because I just wanted them peeking out. I didn't want, like full background or anything. This foam piece says adventure, but I didn't just want adventure on the layout. If you look at my photo, my nephew Ricky is in a tree with his niece, Madison, hence my great niece, and they both have suckers in their mouth. And I thought that is just the cutest picture. But I thought that bear down there, when I got to the lakeside, I thought, I'll probably never use that bear on one. However, since they're up in the tree, they're almost safe. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the bear on this layout. And I'm going to put best view ever up there. So my title's adventure up a tree, and then I'm going to put best view ever because, they can see the bear from the tree. Even though there's no bear in the story, it's just, you know, fun with a scrapbook layout. And then on that one ticket up there, it says a nature story. And then on this, I'm going to add, well, I'm going to cover up, looks like a banner. If you can see it right now, it shows it. And I don't even remember what it said, but I kept thinking, I just don't really go, but I hated to cover it up and have part of it sticking out on the other side of my sticker. So I'll end up covering up later when I pull one of the, well, there's two over in the tray of the sticker book. And so I will pull one more. So I have three of that color on here. And I will tuck it right over the top of that little banner. Oh, I'm not going to end up using that ticket either, even though I did try. And it was a color I wanted. I just couldn't seem to get it to fit. And I was going to cover up the word floating because, there's no floating in this photo. I fussy cut out, well, that's what gave me less room on that green sheet of paper. So it made those two thinner cuts there. But I fussy cut out the bear and, well, not the bear. The bear was on the sticker sheet. I did fussy cut the white off though. And that sign, and they were like all one piece when I got done cutting it, but I cut them apart and put the sign on some cardstock so it'd be up a little, but not as much as the boat, it being on foam tape. And this is the 3D embossing folder. And later, after I got done, I thought, well, I probably should have put some foam on the outside bark of this so it'd stand up higher than the uh, embossed paper. And I thought I was putting that one piece over to the side to use on another layout, but I'm going to end up using it on this layout. So we'll have the whole thing on here. I had various dies in that die set of greenery, and I think I might have had a couple that, didn't see a die of, but I cut them out a long time ago. I can't even remember the last time I used the Lakeside for, I'm sure it was for Simple Story Saturday, but for a layout, so I've had them cut a while. I'm just tucking the greenery around behind and maybe in front of the bear, but I'm going to add it there. And then I'm going to also add it over there where my tree circle. I think Tim Holtz calls them slice, but I was thinking log when I was doing this. And I'm going to have greenery with it and some mushrooms. I don't think I put anything else. No, some greenery and mushrooms is all that I put there. And there's the other piece. I'm going to have to tuck it down farther because I didn't want to cover up too much of the adventure, but I am going to cover a little bit up. But not enough that you can't read it. This little piece here is the one that says best view ever. Well, I was going to get a kind of bluish color scrap to go behind it. But the first one I seen was green, so I just went ahead and took the green and went around it. And it is one from the sticker book, so it's thin, so I really wanted some cardstock behind it. And here, oh, I'm adding the mushrooms now. That's what I am doing. So while I'm adding these few things to my layout, I want to mention that down there below, you'll find the links to everybody that's doing the Simple Stories Saturday. And of course, they'll all be using their simple stories. So lots of inspiration for your simple stories. And if y'all are like me, you have several collections. And that way, when you get an idea for a layout, you could just head on to your stash. And this is my stash. I got it when Lakeside first showed up. I think that was like June or July. And I have done quite a few layouts. I have been thinking, man, I've used all my favorite pieces of paper. But then I ran across this one and another one. And I thought, no, I haven't quite. I have not quite used all my favorite pieces yet because I do love that plaid there, and then there's a green plaid one that I really love. So yeah, I haven't used all my favorite ones yet. But I did pick the bluish one for this layout because if you look in the photo, Maddie has a blue shirt on. Well, Ricky does too, but his is a very dark navy shirt. And they both have suckers, so they look really adorable up in that tree. Oh, I forgot to mention when I put that little ticket stub looking thing right up there by where I'm at now there and put a paper clip on it. It is a Tim Holtz one, very old, but I know they still have them. I have seen them when out shopping online. But yeah, I added it to it just because it was, tiny, cute, and the right color to go on here. I Let's see, where am I at? Oh, I'm still adding the greenery. And I did have to go back and look in that envelope and get a few more. Well, I finally dug them all out. The ones I pulled out before now, I was just able to reach in and pull. However, I was wanting some smaller ones and I added, it's a pink uh, fresh one, that curvy branch or something, and there was a few sprigs of it, so I added it, and then I used my Tim Holtz punch to cut me some little branches to go on here to add a little bit more brown to go with the brown here and there on the layout. And yeah, that's it. That's how I'm done with my layout. And of course, I had fun. It's simple stories and scrapbooking, alone all by itself, no matter what collection you are using, is fun. But there's a cluster on the bottom left, and it says, "Do not disturb," and it also says, "Look here, Sean the Bear." And then there's a little mushroom cluster in there with the tree ring, and there's Ricky with the sucker in his mouth, holding on in the branches. And I did add a few things to this to make it 3D instead of one dimensional, and I really liked adding those. And you can see where I explore your world. I covered up the other little banner thing, and adventure up a tree, and I used the tile stickers that's in the back of the book. And if y'all notice, I went and uh, cut the picture, the layers for the picture straight. And then by the time I tore the paper and this and that, I thought, I really want it not straight now. So I took my scissors and cut chunks out of it all around each layer and then inked them up. But that's it. That's my layout. So if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. And thank you all for watching my video today. I appreciate that too. But have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Bye.